This is only an hour-long day. We will see what happens. We'll go through this. Class is over at, I want to say 9:10, but it might be 9:15. I can't remember. If we can, we'll start the next unit today. If we can't, we won't. Excuse me. Determine the length of CD, assuming that BCD is a right angle. So, since you need that side, you are working in this green triangle, and you have all the information you need. Theta is 32, hypotenuse is 16, opposite is, I don't know, so it's 16 sine 32, for whatever the answer is. I believe it is 8.5 because it's 8.48, but I'm not totally sure. But 8.5, of course, will do. Determine the expression you would use to calculate CB. CB is right here. Now, right now, you would have to use 16 cos 32, correct? But if you assume that you've already done this, and you know that's 8.48, you could also have done 16 squared minus 8.48 squared and done Pythagoras. Or you could have done 8.48 over tan 32, which also would have been acceptable, yes. I'm sorry? Yeah, but you're not going to write out 27 digits, right? You got to round it to something. Well, no, because it's 8.48, Karen. 8.48 does not round to 8.4. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me you all know how to round. Okay? Everybody says they know how to round, but every time I write a number, everybody asks, is this okay? You need to know how to round. Everybody does? When I say round to the nearest thousandth and it's 8.4835, what's the answer? 8.484. Okay? Now what is it? 8.483. Now what is it? No, it is still 8.483 because this is not over 5. Yeah, so this would become 4 if that was a 5. Oh, I thought you said, sorry, I thought you said, my mistake. So everyone is good? No. It was 48349, right? Yeah. No, it's still 483. Because this is not 50. This is 49. But no, Lassa, this is 483 because this does not become a 5. If I want to round to that number, you only check the next digit. So it's 483 still, even though that's 49. If it was 51, then it would be 484. If it was 50, it would be 484, but it is not. And as for rounding angles, Karen, we round angles to the nearest degree. Everything else, I really don't care what you round it to, just round it to something, because so you're not filling up your page. The height of AC, since you already know that is 8.48, and you want AC, and if that's 45, then what's this? 45. If those two angles are the same, what do you know about those two sides? They're the same. So this is 8.48. And lastly, the straight line distance from A to D is right here. You could have used tan. No, you couldn't use tan. You could have used sine, cos, or Pythagoras to find it out. And it's something like 12-ish. That's out of 4. Any questions? Now, before we go on, I need everyone to be aware. Some people heard me talking about it, some people didn't. This is the corner of a room. That's a wall. That's a wall. That's the floor. That is how it would look drawn in 2 dimensions, right? Even though this, if I got out a protractor, is not 90 degrees, in reality, the angle between a wall and a floor is 90 degrees, and the symbol is what makes it 90 degrees. Is everybody good? Sweet. Number 5. Oh man, does number 5 give you people pains in your brains? How could you show me where a car would be? A car. If that car was 37 kilometers north and 81 kilometers east of me, how would you draw 37 kilometers north? Josh? Straight up. Absolutely right, because that is the direction we have decided is north, correct? So that is 37. How do you draw east? Javon. Straight to the right, because that is what we have decided is east. That is 81, right? Here is Myers. Here is his car. How far away is his car? That far, correct? How did you find it? Pythagoras. Now you have 89, and I believe it's 89.05. Yes? Excellent. But it is not a car that you are seeking, is it? No, it's an airplane. An airplane, if it crashed and fell out of the sky, would be 89 kilometers away from me, wouldn't it? But it did not crash, did it? Because where is it? In the sky. How high? 6 kilometers. What's the angle between the ground and straight up to the plane in the sky? 90 degrees, making this triangle 6, 89.05. Where is the distance from me to the plane? Josh? It's the red hypotenuse, yes? Which you get by doing the square root of 6 squared plus 89.05. And I believe your answer is 89.25. Yeah? That is out of 2. Now, for those of you that did not understand it, please notice that it's just triangles. And please notice it's the same as this one, isn't it? Except this triangle is over here. What is the angle along the ground that the airplane is at? Along the ground. So which triangle has the angles on the ground, the black or the red? The black, right? So I need the angle where the airplane is at. So here's me, here's the plane. That's the angle I need, yeah? So how are you going to find out what that angle is? You know all 3 sides. Can you use sine? Can you use cos? Can you use tan? Who chooses? You choose. How many people use sine? Okay. Oh, 1. Cool. How many people use cos? Oh, sad for cos. How many people use tan? Good, because tan was the one that was nice, easy numbers to work with, wasn't it? So shift tan of opposite 81 over 37, yeah? And that gets you 65, if I'm not mistaken. But the question says, as the direction east of north. And I called all of your attention back to page 54 where we discussed how we read these instructions, yes? What direction, east or north, is my main direction? What direction am I starting in? North, because I am adjusting east of north. So I write it as north. Then how far did I adjust? 65 degrees in what direction? East. Right? This is should be worth 2, because this is another skill. You get 1 if you came up with 65, however you came up with it, and you get 1 if you flip back in your notes and read how to read these directions. I have them in your notes. I got a whole page on it. And the angle of elevation of the plane, is that the red or the black triangle? Red. And the angle of elevation is where? Is it the black dot or is it the green dot? Although those both look black. There we go. It is the black dot. How do you know it's the black dot? Because the ground is flat and you look up at the plane. So again, do you have all 3 sides? So does it matter which one you use? No. And I believe that the answer is 4 degrees. It's like 3.8 or something. Isn't it? Well, I would use, again, we'll just use tan of opposite 6 over 89.05. And we'll check. I have a backwards calculator going here, so give me a second. Oh, and somehow somebody put it into stat mode, which is pretty painful. But we can still work it. 6 divided by 89.05 is that. Shift tan. 3.8, so 4 degrees. This question, 2 triangles. Red triangle tells me the height of the tree. For 1 mark, what do I need? Theta is 32, adjacent's 52. I need opposite, which is x, so what do? Tan. Tan 32 is opposite x over 52. 52, tan 32. And whatever the answer is, I think it's something like 27 feet or something, or meters. I don't remember. 32, terrific. Terrific. If you did this, and your calculator's in the right mode, you have the right answer. In the blue triangle, which is the other side, it is 52 tan, and what is that, 67? 67. That gets you this height, which I think is 122, but I don't really remember. But of course, that's not the answer there, is it? The answer is 154 or 55 or whatever it is. I can't remember. So that's worth 1. That's worth 1. Now, 2, 4, 6, 7 on that page. 4 on the first page. 2 trees are 100 meters apart. So how far is this side? 50. How far is this side? 50. Foom, foom, x. Foom, foom, y. Now, no matter how you drew it, I want you to answer this question based on my drawing. Which tree is taller, x or y? X is taller. Y. Pardon me? It's got a steeper angle, yes? So, to answer this question, I need to do x minus y, don't I? Y is 50 tan 8, right? And x is 50 tan 13. I got to subtract those to get the answer. And the answer, when you do it, comes out to 13.28 blah, yes? If I'm not mistaken. I might be. I'm trying to remember it. Well, let's check. 50 oops, backwards calculator, 13 tan times 50 minus 8 tan times 50. Oh yeah, 4.516. Now, nearest centimeter. Which decimal there is the centimeter? The 1. What does it become? A 2. 4 meters, 52 centimeters. All right. Number 8, A and B. Oh, that was worth 2 marks, by the way. 8, A and B required you to understand how to read the other kind of directions. These ones, 0.16. But of course, if you actually read the question, you do not need to know how to read those, do you? Because the question actually tells you what to do. Fernie Island is 1,750 meters north of Roberts Point. So there is 1750, right? The sailboat leaves on a bearing of 0.016. Mr. Myers, I don't know how to read those. I can't remember, and I didn't bother to flip back in my notes. Fortunately, the rest of the question tells you that he sailed to Coal Island. There's Coal Island, yes? So if he sailed from Roberts Point to Coal Island on a bearing of 16, where's the only place that 16 could be? Right there. Then he sailed back over there, giving you this triangle. 1750, 16 degrees, H and O. Why did I label those H and O? Opposite and hypotenuse, because the 16 is my theta, yeah? So now, it's really easy. I want to know how far he traveled, yeah? So I know he traveled 1750, yes? And I know he traveled the H, and I know he traveled the O. So all I got to do is find H and O. What uses A and H? Cos. So cos of 16, right, equals A over H. 1750 over H. So 1750 divided by cos 16 equals H. So that can go right there, can't it? Right? And then opposite and adjacent. Tan 16 equals opposite O over adjacent 1750. So 1750 tan 16 equals O. And that can go right there. And I believe the answer is something like 3,300 and something. But I don't remember. Because this is the important part. Does anybody have an answer for me? I will know it when I hear it. Oh, that might be right. Now that I think about it. 4,000 and something is what people are saying. But it's easy to check. 1750 plus 1750 divided by cos 16 plus 1750 tan 16. 4,072 meters. 0.33 to be fair. Right? Out of, I'm going to say that's out of 3. That's a lot of work. And then, can I erase all this? It's been recorded. Can I erase it? Because I got to use the map to do the next question. Is that okay? All right. The next question says the boat started at Kingfisher, Armstrong Point, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Curtis Point is north of Armstrong Point. Oops, purple's a really bad color to use there. There is 800. Now, the boat leaves Armstrong on a bearing of 307. I don't know how to read that, Mr. Myers, but I sailed to Kingfisher Point. Right? Everyone agree? Then I sailed over to Curtis Point and then home. There's my triangle, yeah? the first leg of my trip was 307. Is that angle 307 degrees? Of course not. What is it? 37? 53. I know why you guys are saying 37. Right? Because on this, I go around to 307, right? I've gone 37 degrees past 270, correct? Which, if the triangle was here, it would be 37. But the triangle's here, isn't it? So it's this last little bit right here from 307 to 360. Everybody cool? So, the angle I have, my theta's 53. I shouldn't be using yellow. My theta's 53. I got an, now I should be using yellow. I got an H and I got an O. So again, I need H, I need O, but I have what? I have an adjacent of 800. And I know the answer is 800 plus H plus O. So I do the exact same thing. A and H is 800 divided by cos 53 equals H. And 800 times tan 53 is O. And those numbers go in there. And this answer, I think, is the one that's 3,000. But again, I don't really remember. 3,000. 3,000. That's close enough for me. Somebody else in the room will have 3,190, but let's check. 800 plus 800 divided by cos 53 plus 800 tan 53. 3,190.95. Also out of 3. Making that page out of 3, 3, and 2 is 8. Oh, okay. Somebody stole my calculator's pants. It's like those long underwear on cartoons with the butt flap. You know the ones I mean? The red ones that Yosemite Sam wears. You all know who Yosemite Sam is, right? Guy with the guns, big red mustache. Oh, you lily-livered rabbit. I got a redneck buddy. Well, he's not redneck anymore. When we were at university, he was a super redneck guy, like totally like, rah. And as we've gotten older, he's gone completely the other way. But
can we please have the grade 10 that need their photos taken or retaken, please come down to the library. Grade 10.
He used to have long red hair and had a mustache, so we always said he was Yosemite Sam. And my text tone when he texts me is Yosemite Sam. It's getting hard to make an honest living. But I can't remember exactly what it is. It's always fun to have text tones like that because the people who are, the people who are talking to you aren't actually going to send you a text because we're adults, not like you people, where you would actually text across the room instead of actually speaking IRL. But what's IRL? Oh, okay. All right, just checking. Okay. I thought you were going to text her. IRL, WTF. Woo. All right. This question is, of course, the exact same question as the airport question, isn't it? Isn't it? You use a triangle on the ground to find a triangle in the air, right? But all it is two different triangles, right? So, in order to find this line, I need to use adjacent and opposite. Adjacent, tan is opposite over adjacent. So tan of 69 degrees divided by 30 will give me this number, yes? Which I'm going to call little t. Why did I call it little t? Because it's opposite of big T. Why do you know all the answers that don't show me any work? What if you get the answer wrong?
Then I get it wrong.
But then I have to give you 0. And you obviously don't deserve 0. You're doing the work anyway. So, once you know little t, then you need this, yeah? Which is tan again. Tan of 43 equals little r over little t, right? But you know little t, because it's this, yeah? Opposite over adjacent. Oops, I screwed that up. It's 30 tan 69. Sorry, guys. 30 tan 69 equals t. And here, where's this t going to go? It's got to come to here to find r, yeah? And since t is 30 tan 69, I just do 30 tan 69 times tan 43 to get r. And what is it? I walked around. Everybody has an answer for this. I gave 10 out of 10 to everybody. Everybody's got something written here. Josh. So I got a 73. I got a 78. I got a 72. Oh, we're all over the map here. 72.8. Okay, so you rounded up 73, Josh? Oh, because it says 2. It says express answer to the nearest meter. You can have full marks, Jacob. Relax. 73. Not degrees, you idiot. 73 meters.
Okay.
Just to double check. 73. And the microwave tower. Now, everyone, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, but this was so funny, I have to do it. My good friend Marcus, when he drew the tower, drew a tower of microwaves. Get it? Tower of microwaves. Yeah, Marcos. It was my favorite. Of course, a microwave tower is just a regular tower. Microwaves are the radio waves that it sends out. But, at any rate, so, there's the tower. There's 2 wires. One goes to the top, and one goes lower down, right? So, there is the red wire, which goes lower down. What is the red wire's angle? 37. And how far away is it? 9.8. Then there's the blue wire that goes up to the top. It is also 9.8, but what's its angle? 58. So I want to know, how tall is the tower? Is that blue triangle or red triangle? Blue triangle. And it is tan, right? So 9.8 tan 58 will get me the tower, whatever it is. Tan 58, probably about, I don't know, 2. So something around 18-ish. 15-ish. Okay. Answers to the nearest tenth of a meter. So 9.8 tan 58. 15.7. Red tower, I need to know this distance, which is going to be 15.7 minus what? 9.8 tan 37, right? Because the red triangle is the exact same as the blue triangle. It's opposite over adjacent, so 9.8 tan 37. So I got it on my calculator. Minus 9.8 tan 37 is 8.3. And that has to be out of 2, because you did 2 things. Oh, what was the cliff was out of 2. And lastly, one of the world's longest suspension bridges. We discussed suspension bridges very briefly. I pointed out that of all the bridges around here, there's like 8 suspension bridges. One of you, or all of you, at one point or another, have driven over one of the 80 million suspension bridges in our area. Golden Ears Bridge, Port Mann Bridge, Lionsgate Bridge, Alex Fraser Bridge, Pitt River Bridge. Because the bridge is suspended from towers by wires. Like all the bridges around here.
You know, when you get like one triangle like that,
You had nothing holding up the middle?
no,
they were
one
like out.
cross.
You know what I mean? They met in the middle.
What met in the middle?
The two. Like I didn't have the outside thing.
Oh, I see. So your bridge falls off at the ends. You make a big M? I'm just giving you a hard time, Jacob. Relax. Now, I did also mention that if you don't know what it looks like, you should do what? Right? So that's what it looks like. So it makes 2 triangles, yeah? The towers are 135, and the angles of elevation from the center of the bridge and either end. So from the center of the bridge is 10.8, from either end is 18.65. Once you know those 2 angles and you know that, you use tan to find those, yeah? And then what do you do with that answer? Multiply by 2. So it's something like 2,115 or something. But I'm not totally sure. It is 18, no, I lie. I'm sorry. Opposite, over adjacent. 135 divided by tan 18.65 plus 135 divided by tan 10.8, and all that multiplied by 2. 135 divided by tan 18.65 plus 135 divided by tan 10.8, close brackets, times 2 is 2215.37. And I'm going to call that out of
Just a reminder that for photos, it is for students who were away the first photo day or were not photographed before. For students who want to order from their original photo, bring your ID card with you. And students who ordered photos and want to retake because they didn't like the first picture. If you just want a retake of your ID card, that's cost of $50. At this time, we could have the grade 11 please come down here and then the comments get the photo.
It's tough because the photo instructions change every single year. Making that page out of 3 and 2 is 7. So we got 7 and 8 is 15, and another 7 is 22, another 4 is 26. Give yourself a mark out of 26. Which page, Indigo? What? The last page was out of 3, and 2 is 7. Number 10. It was 8.3. $15.7, the height of the tower, minus this height, right? 15.7, take out this height, right? See, again, the trig in the real world, the trig is not that hard, but figuring out what to do with the trig. Any trigonometrical questions? I don't think it's a real word. Trigonometric questions would be the proper word. Or, of course, if you don't want to do that, you would say any questions about trigonometry, which is lame, right? Like, anybody can do that. Where's our buddy?
Depression mode.
I have that too.
Who doesn't?
It does. And if it gets too bad, you need to take meds. And if you don't take meds, there is nothing that can fix it. That's what people don't get. Everybody thinks, oh man, you're just fine. You just need to go out and go hiking or dig a hole or do something. No, man. If you are actually depressed, you have something different in your brain and nothing fixes it. It's the same with people that actually have attention disorders. No, all of them. You need meds. Nothing else works. But the problem is you take the meds, you feel better, and then you stop taking them. There's nothing wrong with taking meds. There's something wrong when you take 27 different kinds of meds because you can't figure out what's wrong with you. Yes. Doctors give you meds. They are doctors for a reason. The internet is not a doctor. As you all know, because if you look up, I have a sore wrist on the internet, you have cancer.
Yeah, I know.
Right? You're going to die tomorrow.
It's like, I got like a
I don't know how doctors are doctors today. It blows my mind. I can't even imagine having some idiot that can barely come into your doctor's office and ask, I've got this thing wrong with me, and you tell them what's wrong with them. And they say, well, that's not what the internet said. Like, I don't know how doctors say, well, come here, man, because I'm going to fix you up right now. Your elbow hurts? Good. Now your nose hurts. That's just me. It's the first thing I say whenever I see a new doctor. I will not look up anything on the internet. Whatever you tell me, I will do. Because you have a degree in medicine, not in basket weaving. My mother, my own mother. I don't like what the doctor's telling me to do. I'm going to do this other thing. Okay, Mom. Whatever you say. How'd that work out for you? It didn't. No, she's not dead.
Okay, I was going to say, like, jeez.
But she is not as whole as she should be. How's that sound? Don't get me wrong, I love my mom to death, but there's no point trying to talk to somebody who refuses to believe, right?
I love you till death.
Yeah.
And you hate me.
It's just a saying, man. If you love someone to death, it means you love them forever. Till I die, I will love my mom. It's not a saying. It's not like it's raining cats and dogs, which makes no sense, but it does when you know where it comes from. All right. 40 or 35 minutes. I can't remember. Pretty normal. Yeah, it's just a 5-period day without an X block. Right? X block is at 1:25 and you're all going home for it. All right. Any questions about trig? Because your test is tomorrow. And I remind you, it's not going to take 65 minutes. But it's the same test that I would give you on an 80-minute day, and it wouldn't take 80 minutes. It's a 30-minute test. I'm going to give you the whole 65. So if you piss around and you arrive late to class and you sit around here talking or doing whatever it is you people do when you're supposed to be doing work, it is your time you are losing. All right? And because it's a short day tomorrow, I'm not going to do all the usual warnings I give you before a test. I'm going to do it now. Have your calculator. Have a pencil. Have an eraser. Have your calculator in degree mode. When I say calculator, do I mean your phone? No. What do I mean? A calculator. Okay? Not an app. The actual thing, an actual calculator. Okay? I don't want to waste your time tomorrow going over all this. Everyone is good? And no one has any question about trig? You're all ready to rock? Straight A's on your test tomorrow then, obviously, yes? Awesome, possums. Let us move on. turn your books to page... you can have a quick look at page 77. That's everything we're doing this unit. You can see it's a bit of a mix. I start with exponents, and I end with exponents.
No way.
Weird. It's like a full circle of math. You will notice that the first 2 lessons are exponent rules that you all should know from grade 9. Some of you will know everything I am doing in these first 2 lessons. Some of you will know 3/4 of it, and 1/4 of it will be new. I don't know who taught you grade 9, so I don't know how much you know. When I taught grade 9, you knew 7/8 of everything in grade 10 before you saw it in grade 10, because I knew what was coming later. Okay? Then there's going to be a couple of new things. Then there's going to be something that, again, might be totally new to you. We are going to deal with this, the square root of 27. And it is not going to be 5.2... forever. You will not use the calculator square root function in this entire unit, but you will see lots of square roots. You're going to learn how to deal with that properly. And then we will be back to exponents. Okay? Okay, let's start with what you already know.
Please excuse the interruption. Could the grade 12 who need photo retakes please head down to the library? Grade 12 photo retake.
I'll be right back. Joking, obviously.
All right. In case anybody cares, do you guys have this font?
Yeah.
It's called Mathematics Boredom.
Were you bored?
No, I just thought it was funny. I was searching for math fonts and that came up. What do you need, Amrit? No, your cumulative is after the trig test. Every 2 units. The trig test is tomorrow, so when could your cumulative happen? At any day after tomorrow. Any day. I don't even need to give you advance notice because you already know everything that's on it. But I will, of course, give you advance notice because I want you all to do well. Yeah? That reminds me, I have a quiz to give back to you. I don't know why I still have your very first trig quiz, but you should have this to study from. I'll give it back to you in a minute. All right. Like I said, this is not news to anybody. But we're going to be piling it all together in a pretty significant way. So, what does that expression actually mean? Do not tell me an answer. Tell me what it means. Micah.
It means that you have to times 7 3 times.
Close. Times 7 3 times would be 21. I think. What should I write now? Javon, I see your hand. I'm giving Micah a chance. What should I write now, Micah? Because I think that I think you know what you're saying, and I think I know what you mean, but I need to make sure you know what you mean.
Okay, so I have the 7 for the times now,
Yep.
then the 7.
Good. Yeah, you do know what you mean. Okay. So, it is 7 times 7 times 7, which you all already know, which is 343. Yes? Now, in grade 9, you use numbers to do this. And hopefully you got to use your calculator to evaluate it. Does everybody remember how? To put this into your calculator, you are going to hit 7. Then you are going to hit a button. Everybody's button is different. Some of the buttons will be this little mountain symbol, which is called a caret. Some of them will be X with a Y above it. Some of them will be Y with an X above it. Some of them will be X with a blank box above it. Notice I have never once written a button that says EXP, have I? Do not hit that button. Okay? It is one of these four. Then you will hit 3, then you will hit equals. Can everybody make their calculator do that right now just to make sure that we are all on the same page? Now, I know some of you have a button X with a 3. Don't use that. Actually do the exponent button.
Why did it say negative?
Is everybody good? What?
I don't know. I clicked the Y with the X and then it said negative. Like,
Did you
why-
push
here,
second?
Put a 7, right? And
Yeah.
then like the Y X thing, right? And then
Yeah.
3 and then equals. Oh, now it's good. Alright, that's whatever.
Okay. You're just like my son. I totally pushed X. I shouldn't be dead. No, son, you didn't push X. The computer doesn't not like you. You didn't push X in time. That's why you're dead. I don't know. Whatever game he is playing at the time. All right. So everybody can do that, yeah? All right. Now, we are going to do some talking here because I am only going to be using the proper names for everything. I will not be calling this the big number. I will not be calling this the little number. They will be getting their proper names, and that is all I will call them. The base is 7. Now, there are 2 parts to the definition of this, all right? There's the math, and then there's the, for lack of a better word, the geographical placement of the base, because they are 2 different things. Everybody cool? In math, how would we define the base? Knowing that this is what is happening. What words would you use to define base? The number that is being repeatedly multiplied. Everybody cool with that? Okay. Now, up to grade 9, depending on your teacher, it has always been a number, yes?
No.
Depends on your teacher. Some of your teachers maybe did this with variables. So, the number is okay. Can we make it better? What is it? Because it might not just be a number, right? But it might not just be a variable.
Please excuse the interruption. Last call for photo retake.
Thing?
Anybody needing photo retake, including
Let's
yourself,
call it
please head down to the library
the
right
term
now. Thank you.
that is repeatedly multiplied. Is everybody cool with that as the math definition of it? All right. Now, there's the geographical definition of it. And the geographical definition I'm going to write in red. The base is anything to the left. No, don't write left. To the immediate. And there's a reason I'm saying this. Immediate left of an exponent. Now, I just want you to write that right now. We're going to talk about what it means in a minute. Okay? But please highlight immediate. Now, so what's the exponent?
3.
We know it's a 3. That's why I've highlighted them both. What's the mathematical definition of the exponent? Josh. Right. It's the amount of times the base is multiplied, yes? Okay. So, and I'm going to give a geographical one here. It is what we call a superscript, which means it is written above the line. Now, you guys have seen subscripts in chemistry, right? Don't write this down. Al2, CO3, and I can't remember if there'd be one there. Aluminum carbonate, yes? These are subscripts. Superscripts are up there. But notice they do the same thing, right? This means there's two aluminums. Okay? Now, the whole thing is a power. That is a base and an exponent. And we read that as base to the exponent. So in this case, it is 7 to the third. Some of them get special names. 7 to the second power is squared, which you already know. 7 to the third, which you already know, is cubed. Nobody else gets a special answer. Everybody cool? All right. Now, remember how I said we have to be a little concerned about this immediate, right? That's why I highlighted it and asked you to keep it highlighted. Somewhere find some space, maybe right here. I'm going to do a green box because it applies to the green part here, yes? X cubed means what? 7 cubed meant 7 times 7 times 7. So what does x cubed mean? X times x times x, right? Cool? Okay. X times x times x. 4 cubed means what? 4 times 4 times 4. Everybody still cool? Okay, now, here's where it gets weird. 4x cubed. What does that mean? Jacob.
Okay, here's my report. I know like there's something weird about that.
I know, so just give a guess.
Okay, so isn't it like 4 times x times x?
Yes, this is 4xxx because the exponent is only attached to the x because it is what is immediately left. Everybody cool? Okay, what is this? Javon.
4x times 4x.
So that is something different. Does everybody see? This might be new to some of you. And it's okay if it is. We're going to practice it a ton. Everybody's good? All right, your job for the next 5 minutes and your homework for the night is to study trig and fill in this table. That's it. You got a test tomorrow. And you've only got like 5 minutes left in class. And you can use a calculator to do this section. Evaluate means no exponents. So up here, this is the evaluation. Everybody cool? And that's your homework.